Hello everybody, my name is Alex Schiller and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about lenses and what lenses can do for you, what kind of lenses you might need, and what situations you should use specific lenses in. Let's get started. So first, before you even decide to buy a lens, you need to determine what you're shooting, because once you determine what you're shooting, it allows you to come up with what kind of lenses you should buy for that specific situation. Now, this can be broken down into portrait photography, it can be done product photography, event photography, landscape photography. All of these things can be like different situations in which you use a lens or use your camera in a specific way to capture these things. Obviously in landscape, you're going to want to do more wide angle so you can capture all of that landscape. And I use wide angle for my shot because I've created all of this set space and collected all of these things over time that I want you to see to kind of add personality to my shot. So that's another use for wide angle. Portraits tend to be closer, 50 millimeters, 35 millimeters, 85 millimeters. Those all tend to be pretty close-up shots. Now, if you're doing wedding photography, you need a zoom lens because then you can have multiple different things. You can go 24 to 70, so you can have those close-ups of the rings. You can have those wide angles of everybody dancing, having a good time at the reception. And product photography goes into macro functionality. Do you want that thing to be the only thing in focus? Do you want to focus on the glint in the diamond of the wedding ring? Do you want to focus on all of the buttons and knobs on a specific camera or computer or something like that? These things you have to ask yourself questions about for what lenses you want to purchase and what situations you're putting those lenses in. One of the things that I stress super hard on this channel is only bring what you need. Have a camera kit that you can bring anywhere. Just pick up and be ready to go and shoot anything that you need. I think that is one of the biggest things that you have to consider when buying a lens. For me, for photography, I bring two lenses. That's it. I have an 18 to 55 that I can use for most wide angle shots, that I can have for a close-up 55 if I want to get a quick portrait of a specific situation, or just a regular 24 to get as close to what the eye can see, make it the most natural shot as possible. I use the 75 to 300 to get these super close-up shots locked down on a tripod of an animal that I just spotted in the middle of the wilderness, or anything like that. These two lenses fit 90% of the situations that I'm in anytime that I'm doing photography of any kind, macro, anything like that. These two lenses can do it. But if I'm doing video, I don't ever carry these lenses. I'm always carrying my 3 primes with me at all times. I have the 24, I have the 35, and I have the 50. All of these things are great, amazing shots that get depth of field really well. If I'm only doing portraits, I'm only carrying my 50. I wouldn't even think about bringing my 35 or my 24. Those are too wide for portraits. I only bring my 50. So you have to remember what you're going to be putting yourself through in specific situations and just have an idea of what situation you're walking into. Be prepared for those moments. Obviously, I have a few recommendations for this kit. If you're just starting out, the 18 to 55 kit really does everything that you need it to do. It can do those wide angle shots of the whole family. It can have that 24 natural look of what an eye is seeing in a 24 millimeter. It has the 50 to 55 functionality of getting those close-up portrait shots. And that is even good enough for landscapes as well if you want to go lower into 35 or stay at 24. All of these things can be done with an 18 to 55 if you're just starting out. So don't worry that you're just using the kit lens when you walk into getting into the photography world or getting into the video world. Now, if you're gonna do things like macro photography, the 35 macro that I just unboxed that I've been using forever is a fantastic thing for macro photography. And that's fantastic if you're shooting weddings, if you know you're gonna be shooting product photography, getting in that close, super sharp, detailed focus, that is a perfect starter lens. Now, if you're getting into just you don't know what you want, you're getting into everything, get a 24 to 70. Don't buy any other lens unless you get the 18 to 55 with the kit. Get the 24 to 70. It's a super expensive lens, but it is so versatile. I don't own one, but I've used one on multiple occasions, and the 24 to 70 is a fantastic lens. It's super sharp, it's solid, straight up, whatever the F is, I think it's F4, but it's fantastic for any single day need that you have. So overall, my general concise what I recommend for you if you're just starting out, 18 to 55, nifty 50. If you're doing something that is super versatile, you're not sure what you want, go the 24 to 70 and you won't be disappointed with these lenses. Now just wait 1 second before you go out and buy a lens. I know I made the lens recommendation really quick, but look not just at the millimeters that I'm telling you to buy, the 24s, the 18s, the 50s. Don't worry about just the millimeter. You also have to look at the aperture. Now, do you need crazy depth of field? Do you need macro functionality? Because if those are some things that you need, you have to be wondering what lens is going to be perfect for that depth of field. What lens aperture do you need? And for product photography, for close-ups, for macro, for weddings, for portraits, you're 100% going to need a depth of field, which is why the 50mm 1.8 is one of my huge recommendations, because you get that wide open, super fast aperture for super cheap. And you can get those close-ups, you can nail that focus, get super sharp images without even trying, and it's fantastic for you. You get that depth of field. But if you're going into landscapes, if you're going and getting those wide shots of families, you need a lot of things to be in focus. You want to capture the environment that you're in, and that allowing for a lower or a higher aperture, like an f4, f5, allows you to get more things in focus. Now it's going to be a little bit of a darker lens and you have to compensate for the light, but you also get everything in focus. You can see everything relatively sharp, relatively in focus, so that you capture the whole experience that you're in. These are things that you have to worry about when buying lenses. There's multiple different things that break down buying a lens. I hope this was a somewhat interesting video for all of you. I kind of broke down the very, very basics of what lenses you need, what things that you should be worried about when buying lenses. If there are things that you're still worried about, wondering about, leave a comment down in the comment section below. I'll try and give my best recommendation, and honestly, just shop on B&H, shop on Amazon, and just look at lenses, compare lenses, read reviews, and you'll get the information that you need to help you best start out. But don't be afraid to use just a kit lens to figure out what you want. Don't be afraid to work for dirt cheap or free to be able to just get the experience you need to understand what you want. That being said, thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.